I think through dialogue they can help each other, through exchange. I think the danger, and I think we've possibly fallen into this slightly in the kind of later 20th century, early 21st century, is that they become isolated and disconnected from each other and irrelevant to each other. And I personally would love to spend a few years in academia in a few years' time, and then maybe go back and set up another business and have more of a fluid exchange between the two. And we say that we live in a world of a knowledge. We're building a knowledge economy, and universities are. I would say undoubtedly, they're about they're knowledge institutions in their purest sense. So I think the danger is that we don't have dialogue, and the danger is irrelevance. That the fact that I did a PhD once upon a time, and I think I heard that 80% of PhD theses never get read by more than one person. I think that's kind of crazy. I mean, 80% of blogs don't get read by anybody either. So there is a certain mathematical inevitability to these things. But at the same time, I think we have a duty as academics to translate our thinking to an audience. It might be still quite a small audience, but I think we've become too. One of the things I observed, when I was doing my PhD, was I was becoming an expert in low-frequency ultrasonic imaging to a point where there was only kind of 5 people around the world that vaguely had the faintest idea what I was talking about, and that felt quite lonely actually, and it wasn't where I wanted to be. And I don't know if it's different in other countries, but in France, I believe they have academics are more kind of public intellectuals, so they kind of comment on issues of the day, and I'm not saying that's necessarily a model for the UK and academia, but I think I would like to see more people from academia going into business, and more people from business going into academia. And I mean, similarly, I've been slightly critical of universities there. I think businesses are as disconnected and flawed for different reasons. And so I was just thinking on the way here, I gave a similar talk to this one I gave yesterday, and somebody asked me a question afterwards, and I didn't know the answer, and I was slightly anxious at first because I thought I need to give a good answer and I don't know the answer, but then it all happened very quickly. But then I just said, well, I don't know the answer, and that was hugely liberating. To be able to say I don't know I don't think we do it often enough. I think too often we pretend we know when we don't, and so I think. I think I don't quite know what the implication of that is, but I think we're kind of restricted by our knowledge, and I think we need to say I don't understand more often, and be open to other people teaching us or other ideas coming from outside.